Oh, all right. Mr. Mandaza, probably let me come in that as we were talking about this, Cooksman raised an issue about Mazibaba Shanduko, who was beaten. And we know that up to now, it's not even clear, because the Herald reported that he was at the Mbuyane under statue, and then the charge then changed, and a lot of things that we are seeing people being harassed. We saw during the election that Mboneni Ncube was killed, and these are the things that are, what can I say, that are in the face of ZANU-PF. Are you happy as a party spokesperson with the progress? Because look at this. When we got into the second dispensation, as you always say, in the Second Republic, you said we're going to improve the livelihood of Zimbabweans. The teachers were still earning about $500. Now their salaries have depleted. Now they are getting $100, and then another $75, which is in the auction rate. How can you claim that as a party you have improved the life of citizens? Are you going somewhere, since things have gone on a downward turn? How can you claim as a party that you are working for the citizens?
The issue of Mazibaba, I will not comment on it because I have very little knowledge of who Mazibaba is and what happened to him, and so on. So I will not give a comment to that until such time that I have enough information to comment on it or to give any response to the questions that you are posing. We are saddened by the death of an individual, of one Zimbabwean, regardless of his political or her political affiliation. And what happened in Kwekwe is something that we do not want to see, because what we believe in as a party is that whoever decides to go to campaign should do it freely, and there should not be any grandstanding like we have always seen from the opposition that we have in Zimbabwe, that they have been stage managing most of the theatrics that we have seen in order to send a message. And if you look at what has happened in the past, let me put a disclaimer here and say that I'm not in any way suggesting that what happened in Kwekwe was stage managed, because it is still under investigation. The court processes are still going on. We'll get the truth of the matter from what is currently going on. But there is a history of stage managing of things that seek to discredit the government of Zimbabwe as well as the ZANU-PF. And my appeal, I've already made it, that we are all Zimbabweans. We need to work together regardless of our political affiliations. And when we get into political trenches, it does not mean that we have become enemies. We are differing in terms of ideology and approaches in order of making sure that we have a better Zimbabwe. That is our thinking as ZANU-PF. That is why we do not hold any beef on members of the opposition. But what we also would want to see from opposition parties is to make sure that they stand for the people of Zimbabwe. And any opposition outfit that we should be having in Zimbabwe should be an opposition output that is informed by the wishes, aspirations, and the needs of the people of Zimbabwe. Those oppositions that we have in Zimbabwe that are serving the interests of other people, they should desist from doing that, because it does not serve the interests of the people of Zimbabwe. And I think the fellow panelists, they know these opposition parties that have no interest of the people of Zimbabwe, but are seeking to serve the interests of the people that we have always and will continue to say are their masters, until they decide to divorce the marriage that exists between them. Are we on the right trajectory in terms of addressing the wishes, aspirations, and the interests of the people of Zimbabwe? Surely ZANU-PF is. And we have seen it over the years, the last 3 years, that there have been so much that have been happening in the country. But we have been doing this in during the presence of a host of other challenges that we have. I will not go and speak a lot about sanctions, because it is known that sanctions are part of the problems that we have in Zimbabwe. They've caused untold suffering. And in addition to that, we have economic saboteurs. And these economic saboteurs are the ones that are working now day and night in order to make sure that the gains that the country has had in the last 3 years can get to naught as we approach the elections time. And we are happy that the president and the party has seen that there are economic saboteurs currently playing havoc in terms of the parallel market rates and making sure that things do not work, particularly in the financial sector. And he has promised that they will deal with that, so that the issues of the salaries of the teachers and other workers in Zimbabwe addressed, and there are salaries that can enable them to put food on the table of their children, and also address other issues of interest to these workers. We are saddened by this sudden trend of sabotaging programs, particularly in the financial sector, to make sure that we give a perception that there is nothing that is happening in the country. But if you are to go in Zimbabwe right now, you will see what is happening in infrastructure development, roads construction and rehabilitation, dams, and many other projects that have been going on. And 60% to 75% of the products that we find in the shops today, they are produced in Zimbabwe. And that's the things that we need to speak about. Look at the development rate as given by the United Nations, and also by our own government. That speaks to development that has taken place in the last 3 years, and we would want to continue and maintain that trajectory so that Zimbabwe can be the country that we all would want to see.
All right, Mr. Mandaza, coming through here. I'm seeing a lot of comments and your thoughts here on social media. I mean, on the comments here. Thank you so much for keeping them coming. I'm going to open the platform for others to come in and ask. Some of the people they are saying is areas Skakan saying you have failed as ZANU-PF here. We're going to continue on that conversation. However, I want to give Mr. Cooksman, you wanted to say something before I also give to Mandla, who is on standby. Mr. Cooksman, what do you have to say about the comments that has been made by Mr. Mandaza and concerning ZANU-PF? What are your thoughts to what he said?
I personally don't get it when Mr. Mandaza say that the opposition stage manages some things to tarnish ZANU-PF or to tarnish the government. How can someone and a 5 cents no shanda waste his or her time stage managing something to tarnish what? ZANU-PF has failed. There is nothing to tarnish here. What would you tarnish on ZANU-PF? 42 years of destroying the country, and you still need someone to state manage something to tarnish what? We don't have time to tarnish ZANU-PF, Mr. Mandaza. You tarnish yourself with corruption. You tarnish yourself with killing people, your own citizens. You tarnish yourself with all these things that we always talk about. We see what happens. Look at what happened Pananya Yambonen. Terezwa katika Panama's Baba. Where is Itaidzama right now? Yourself, you can't even tell. You see, Kungonyangarika, and you say you care about your citizens. You don't even know. It's your right as a political party, as a government, to know kuti Itaidzama ari kupi. Ndimungada mchita process yekutsvaga zvinhu izvozvo. Ndimungada achita process yekutsvaga kuti alright, kana vachita stage managing, inini pachangu chaiko, I wouldn't want people to stage manage things just to tarnish the government, because zvinoudzwa zvichiafecta inini citizen Zimbabwe, because ndikuda investment. It's not like isusu tinoti kwai tinongoda triple C kana toda chi, tinoda investment, tinoda economy ishande. Saka kana muchititaurira kuti isusu tiri kuenda unotanisha image yenyika kuti titadze kuwana economy, aika mukutiita mapenzi kaimi. We don't do that. You do that. Imi ndimukuya muchirova vanhu, ndimune party iri kuita basa rekuabusa vanhu, ichida kuramba iri papower isisadiwe. We don't want you. People want new thing. You can't even akamana, you can't have a political party for 42 years. Nai pachitombova nezviri kuitika taigona kuti hai, it's okay guys, carry on. Hapana zviri kuitika. You are destroying. And corruption yauraya nyika. Corruption yaita kunonzi kudzika midzi muZANU-PF. This is one of the most reason why they don't want to get off the pedal power, because they know that most of them, they'll go to jail. And you won't be surprised to see Mr. Mandaza in Shikurubi because he might be also, not he might be, he is atorimo corruption madhara edu aya, because chinoitika ndechekuti most of them vachipuwa ezvichauri kuona mufesi angada kutora mbudzi dzahopoyo kurwira kupinda paqueue yecorruption. Ndo zvavanoita izvozvo izvo, nekuti vanhu vaya vanongodya zvavo vasina anovabvunza, saka vazvijaira. Saka vakufunga kuti right, amana tobviswa isusu pano patanga tichingomora pasina anotibvunza, aiwa izvozvo hazvigone. Ndo saka vasiri kuda kubva. Saka nyaya yavari kutaura yekuti kutanishwa sabotaging, what can you sabotage vanhu vachiba 12 billion 12 billion ngonzi yanyangarika. Baba vaMandaza vachititaurira zvekusabotaja, isiri kusabotaja chiisusu. Then totaura nyaya yemasanctions. Sanctions, those are just lame excuses, to be honest with you. They say that they've put the sanctions vachiisira zveminda. Okay, fine, let's assume that's correct, kuti vanhu vakaisa masanctions vakamaisira zveminda, but vari kuvanda nenyaya yema-human rights. Then why don't you just respect ma-human rights acho, tione kuti havabviseri masanctions acho? Even imi mukazviita isusu ma-citizens, we can rally behind the government and say, please remove the sanctions. But we don't care about that, because we know even if ma-sanctions akabviswa, nothing changes. Kana zvafane kuti una pamba vasingachengeti mhuri, vanotora mari vachinonwa doro, veku-next door votaura kuti no, iwe utaona kuti hazvibatsire kuti tirambe chikupa mari, because still nyange tikakupa mari hausi kupa vana, uri kungonomwa doro wega. Saka vana vanongotaura kuti aiwa zvinhu zvakafanana izvo, masanctions kuvapo kana kusavapo kwavo, hatina chatiri kuona chinoshanda. Because isusu whether ma-sanctions aripo kana haapo, we have enough money to run our country without even getting an aid from anywhere. Yes, we have got ma-China akazara munyika. What are they doing? Kana chiti tinoda aid kubva somewhere. Investment yacho yakaunza ndeipi kubva zvakauya ma-China. They are flocking. And Mr. Mandaza vanoziva nyaya yakaitika recently yevanhu vakabviswa. I forgot is it Bindura, is Goromonzo way? I forgot.
They were taken in Bindura. There was a farm. Yes. It was rain farm in Bindura.
Imagine a government, pasisa a 48-hour notice to say, citizens, get away from that area. We want to give it to the Chinese. I don't know that area. Iwo vari kuti we protect my citizens. Those kutaura Mr. Mandaza kuti they care about the safety of my citizens. But vanhu vakanorara panze vachinaiwa. Mapurisa, mota dzemapurisa ndo dzakabatsira kutakura zvinhu zvevanhu zvichinotsvedwa. Guys, ZANU-PF, you have to respect people. Mr. Mandaza, you have to respect us. We are your sons, we are your daughters. We didn't go to war. Yes, we were not born. There is no way we could have gone to war because we were not there. This is why sometimes we tell you, if there's any chance for you to take back that country, tonoitora toga. Because taneta nokuti munotitaurira kuti makaenda kuhondo, and you abuse us in that manner, muchishandisa mashoko iwayo. We don't like it. We're going to end that nonsense in 2023. Zvamuri kutaura zvese nemaskamba makapfeka, muchamapfeka kumapurazi kwenyu kana kumisha kwenyu, muchitamba nevazukuru. Tinokutendai makarwa hondo, but hamusi kuunza budiriro munyika. Muri kuvanda nemasanction, muri kuvanda netunyaya twakawanda-wanda tokusaboteja nekuita sei. Hapana, hatina kupusa muchiona takadai. tinoona dai ZANU-PF ichisa effort pakuisa budiriro munyika, we can see tingadai tichivhotera ZANU. Isu tinovhotera Triple C, we want to give it a chance because we have seen that ZANU-PF has failed. So I thank you very much. I think I've said enough.